Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew. I'm an alcoholic. We want to welcome you to this platform here today, regardless of what your addiction may be. You are welcome here. We support multiple pathways of recovery, not just one, but all pathways. And whichever pathway it is that you choose, well, we're here to help, and we definitely want to make sure that it works for you. I want to pitch right in. Over the last week or two, I've talked a lot about how, I came in the rooms early on back in 2012, 2013, and I went back out. I walked in, saw this God thing. I also saw people that I'm looking at and I'm going, shit, if that's what I have to look forward to in recovery, I need a drink, right? You may have experienced that too. It's all right. But I remember saying, AA didn't work until it worked. See, it didn't work for me back then because I didn't truly apply it. I truly didn't try to apply the 12-step principles, or the 12 steps in my life. And that's why it didn't work. But I wanted to blame everybody else. One of the things, there's a lot of great sayings in the rooms of AA. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You can't change what people do, say, or think. You can only change your response and how you respond to them. I love those sayings. One of the things, and that was a big thing for me to learn, actually, when I came into the rooms. But there are so many external pressures, if you will. Once we get sober, we get on our path to sobriety, there's a lot of external pressures that can jeopardize our sobriety. It could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be a number of things that we are naturally inclined to face and deal with on a regular basis. Absolutely. But there's also, I'd be lying if I told you that there wasn't internal pressures that can jeopardize your sobriety as well. Meaning internal, not just you, but internal to AA. And let me be clear about this. Let me say this now. Not every meeting is the same. It's just not, they're just not. We are dealing with a room full of drunks and drug addicts. AA is a perfect program made for imperfect people. One bad meeting does not mean that AA is a bad program. It's not. Matter of fact, it's still the program of action that saved my life. And the fellowship I have with the majority of men and women in the program still continually to this day saves my life. So everything I'm about to say, let me preface it all with saying one bad meeting does not make all of AA terrible or bad. It doesn't. Again, it's a perfect program for imperfect people. So with all that being said, one of the things that really concerns me is I see people coming in the rooms and turn around going back out, and they relapse. And I wonder, okay, why did they relapse? What happened? And then I start thinking about the responsibility. See, there's a responsibility statement in AA as well. And I start thinking about that, and I ask myself, was it somebody in AA that drove that person back out? Was it the way a group was ran that drove that person back out? Were they really welcoming? Were they really happy, joyous, and free? I'm telling you, had I come into the rooms and saw some of the people that I've met over the years, and the way they act and look, I truly would have gone, yeah, if that's what I have to look forward to, I'm back out the door. And it concerns me because these people who are going through this revolving door, we're talking about life or death here. Some of those people, they haven't made it back because they relapsed, and unfortunately they relapsed with fatal consequences. And so just as it is your responsibility, I promise you, it is your responsibility for your own sobriety, for your own recovery, yes. But that doesn't mean that we as a fellowship may not share some of that responsibility also. When the 11th tradition says that, we are based on attraction rather than promotion. And I love that tradition, right? Actually, I'm not a fan of all the traditions, but that's a great one that I always get told a lot. We are based on attraction rather than promotion. So when I walk in a room and I see people who are sitting there going, hi, I'm happy, joyous, and free. Shit, it's time for me to find another fucking meeting. Right? So just because you walk into a meeting like that and you have people who say they're happy, joyous, and free, but don't act like it, that doesn't mean every meeting's that way. That doesn't mean there's not other meetings with people who truly are happy, joyous, and free. See, if I walked into a room and somebody told me to sit down, shut up, not to talk because I didn't have 90 days of sobriety under my belt, I would have went right back out. Now, Keep in mind, everything I'm saying, this is stuff that I have witnessed with my own eyes across a couple of different meetings. Not every meeting. And I do not want to discourage you. I do not want to give you a reason to not get sober because, again, that is your responsibility, not mine, not anybody else's. But again, I reiterate, it is our job as members of the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous to make sure that we are encouraging, inviting, and welcoming and compassionate to those who are seeking to solve our common problem with a common solution. How can we do that when we're too busy? We are way too busy putting our pride and our egos in front of everything else. Our primary purpose is to carry the message to others who are suffering. How can we truly do that whenever we're too busy putting our pride and our ego in front of that? See, we can't. We can't. I know people that hang their self-value, self-worth, and self-esteem, their whole self-being on titles, and unfortunately, it's like that in some AA groups too. And it's sad. Those are the groups I encourage you to get the fuck out of, to remove yourself, because they're not going to be conducive to your recovery. Matter of fact, if anything, they can drive you right back out the door. And that's what we don't want. I want to reiterate, not every meeting is the same. Not every meeting, just because you go to one bad meeting or there's a bunch of assholes in one bad meeting, doesn't mean there's going to be a bunch of assholes in another meeting. I'm living proof of that, all right? I'm telling you, I've been in meetings that these people are just assholes, okay? The way they carry themselves, the way they talk, they're self-righteous. It kind of reminds me a lot of church, they're assholes. Doesn't mean I have to like them. I'm not there to like them. I'm not there to like anybody, but I am there to feed myself with the others' experience, strength, and hope are stories that are being shared. I'm there to share my experience, strength, and hope with others. So I want to encourage you today, if you are actively involved in AA, I want you to stop and ask yourself, am I truly putting my personality in front of my principle? Because that's part of the 12 traditions also, right? If we're supposed to be based on attraction, then how are we going to attract people when we're too busy telling them what to say, what they can and can't say, what they can and can't do in a meeting? How is that possible? That's not going to attract anybody. That's going to push them away. And that's the antithesis of what we're trying to do. So again, I encourage you today, find a group of like-minded individuals, get around those people and stay around those people. And you could find those people in the massive majority of rooms within the Alcoholics Anonymous Fellowship. I promise you. But that doesn't mean the rooms of AA are without fault. No, you're going to find some rooms and you're going to find some people that you just don't get along with. And that's okay. Because see, we're not there for them. I'm not there to impress them. I'm not there to appease them. I'm not an appeasing person at all. I truly not. I will be more than happy to help you, but I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, because that's what was done to me by people who loved me, people from the program who loved me enough to tell me the things I needed to hear and not what I wanted to hear. So with that being said, again, I want to be very clear and leave you with this. I am not talking bad in any way about the program of action of Alcoholics Anonymous. I love the program of action. I will still encourage people to adopt it, and I will go to my grave. I will go to my grave carrying the AA flag, no doubt about it, because it's the one program, the only thing that saved my life. There are meetings that I absolutely love. With people in those meetings, I absolutely love. But there are also meetings that are not conducive to my recovery. There are also meetings with people in there who do not have your best interest at heart. So keep that in mind. Be watchful, be careful, even from those within professing to help you. With that being said, I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys have an absolute kick-ass Friday, kick-ass weekend. Again, I want to thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you, because you are what keeps me sober. I'll let you guys go. I hope you have a kick-ass day. We'll talk again tomorrow. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.